We're joining you from Yokohama in Japan. The Honorable Government Communications Minister, Otemenka Akwabe Kosi saying Suni.
Yeah, I will be.
Now, me pacho wa pomu ye de.
Oh, nanya don't be there boko.
Omanpenyin so ho ye de.
Obi a ho ye.
Ye danya me ase. Enti edi kan walk us through. I mean, we knew say Mufri has Sunday and Yumre, but we realized say Enra Anopa, which is Tuesday morning, mum, and Amuko Drew, Japan. Why? What happened? Omanpenyin ejina baby ye bibi for baby ana.
Obi, that's it. And say, enkomodi abba. Ewo Omanpenyin akwenchi ho no. Le fiber na wo kan nyina bomu a certain desperate attempt by NPP amani ko say amemu boni a ombebu ya na emu fando do na no afesika segi ho do ne say wasteful expenditure yemu bi ekaseti aye Ghana fo kaseti aye ne ya adwen to abeti awo mo and no person mo pe kwande so fa e de yete de ye no omo ye bi anaso mpo no esan se ye ka teti asa ne ye nti akofa ahokyere bi e de abro mampani wona kwantuo mu e shafiafi asemo a ye Vincent Asafoa ye MP for Tafo e de betu dwa na enya no kre enra menya ne ntia se wa wo confront no to set the record straight eno no anya adwuma no na abeton from memu and before be any even some media persons na nam no moka so yen NDC for yen fa a chaw pamra because of the criticism be leveled against Akufo-Addo na said the uncle get and as you any beautiful for Emma Omanpenyin akwentu. That is the summary of Nkomodi a ekoso. No kure woman say san Nkomodi no. Ene no kure ebo ebra. The first point ne say aircraft and I say Omanpenyin ewie mhye ho Nkomodi. Enye honorable Ablakwa ene share san Nkomodi na so Ghana abakosi mu. Wo be gire se woni efikakra. At least you are in your early 40s.
Yes.
As far back as the late 90s, President Rawlings buying a quarter of Gulf Stream through a special purpose vehicle arrangement. As buying on a HSBC bank, a year, you know. A year, we share Omanpenyin etumukwan ensam abeya ensam Ghana. At the time, na Ononyanfo Hakman Uswajiman, only ranking member of Foreign Affairs. Almost sorry here, run is abandoned the day, say, or Pato Gulf Stream, say the Omanpenyin be too. In fact, a Lunti Abra MP before Bemu 2001, Omanpenyin for all the 8 years of baby Oman was one to not Gulf Stream more that. Because first, almost a year, and number two, they were even claiming. So because of the special purpose vehicle arrangement through Galilee, you know, but you also. I thought you know, assigned to a committee chaired by the late J.H. Mensah, and that's our time foreign minister, Ononyanfo Asafoa, and a then presidential spokesman, Kwame Japon, Aya Benders, said almost share Gulf Stream, mentoring and some. Interestingly, so many people because now, but you be uncle so. And you know, towards the tail end of the Kufa administration, almost on South Stream, no, adequate simulated for China. And what I'm saying, between 2010 and 2011, our President Mills are buying a year, say, or per se, or top, if you send him Ghana, a flafo, I call my Embraer, lay 100-seat jet for Ghana Armed Forces, Air Force, and other aircraft to be. Okay, they are before you. In fact, I mean, you know, almost the actual some aircraft the two President Mahama so say President Mills investigating. So okay.
Yes.
For corruption. And they opposed it vigorously in Parliament.
Yeah, because I think I don't know when Honorable Martin Amid in the raising the first time. No, Martin Amidin, one of his epistles.
Martin Amidin never spoke about any investigation of Mahama. Martin Amidin did draw for several years on that matter. I'm tracing this to let you know. Say, Omampeni went to an area to the day, it didn't start with Honorable Black Person NPP before person If this is the history of the NPP as far as presidential aircraft, and in fact, the general purchase of aircraft for Ghana is concerned. So more than 10 years, somewhere between 2021 to 2023. And the two that say, Omampeni Akufo-Addo or renting aircraft via the border was through. I'm not sure movie my indeed. In here, science started somewhere in 2018. Now or rentals are aircraft. The mere rental of aircraft, the kind of some, of course, if you can show say presidential jet, and what touch map. Now we get alternative arrangement and can no problem. There are two options. Either so called commercial and now say over rented aircraft. Now in the rental, you go for an optional, but you say a functional, safe, but nobody needs to affect the public purse, especially at the time there was severe economic crisis. A binance to the catch Ghana for no more bond the Bosnia bondholders 1.3 million. So, oh, yes, you cannot, as a president, in the face of this, go for extravagant aircraft. That was the point. Not Honorable Black all the time. Indeed, at the time, they hadn't even told us that there was a problem with the presidential aircraft until said. Honorable need to about parliament that kind and of that class so any. So Ghana for righteously condemned the Akufo-Addo administration for extravagance. Omampeni Mahama 2013 to 2017 there were periods and there were problems with the presidential jet. One rented that kind of expensive aircraft. Indeed, Maka or program is so that Messiah UPT said there was a time Omampeni Mahama to find out economy. From Lufthansa, Germany to Accra, number of flights in movie. So I know. If we to for renting aircraft, expensive one, say presidential jet not security. That he sat in an aircraft and economy seating one. They didn't even have business class. Lufthansa, or buy. In the alternative, no, offer commercial. Many not commercial aircraft need to find and pay the bill. When and Oba Abemubium 2025. Now what's it to find be? The first thing here, and they say the claims are not the previous government are here about presidential aircraft. Okay, I said the friend of communication squadron, which is a unit in the Air Force, or Mampeni and Shensha Monsano. Among technical report on the state of the aircraft. The buy, among my aircraft, clean bill of health, say it to me, it took one. And initially now Mampeni the Jata jet, now opportunity one. And it's free. The only thing I know talk and you fool. But he was not paying for renting the aircraft because an aircraft are any near the OBN or told long before our Mampeni. I don't know. I don't know position now. So person to point out the call. Even the elected Nanayan family you could not so formally know. What can I say? Or your travels be to some African countries.
Yeah, to some African countries.
To use that jet. Yes. If you buy now, they were doing the assessment of the presidential aircraft. Mampeni can say, look. I have this data jet and I'm using it. Let me not burden the taxpayer. My name use until time my main reports, FC Air Force One. In fact, Air Force One at the castle at that time, the aircraft can fly. In fact, Obi make our Mampeni any other officials. It's now presidential aircraft around March and May. Echo Tanzania, Echo Kenya, Echo Angola. The aircraft, presidential aircraft, Falcon took us there and back. But from my experience sitting in the aircraft at the time, now it was a normal flight. There was nothing unusual. It was a normal flight. But the aircraft, periodically, a call for maintenance. If you call maintenance, they are 3-4 months. A call your assessment. So, they ascended down and said, no, only corrosion. Aircraft let time be iron natches. Before tanking the other part. In fact, Dr. Manebuama, now what you he went to Parliament to answer this question in answer to Honorable Inti for your question. So okay.
Yes, I remember.
So he gave the details of the state of the aircraft. So that is the state of the aircraft as we speak. So see, and it's not available to fly. It's a Hon Mama. In previous cases, he has still used the target if it is available. Say it's available, and now say it's going to call long haul flighter or use commercial. Say we use Emirates. Obi, I'm sure the way to find it. You are familiar with the way aircrafts run. So what far aircraft now will transit here? The aircraft are over far original. And they call the base of the aircraft, which is in this case Emirates and Dubai. It's a whole other to transit. What call Emirates are more lounge in Peninfo Etna, whilst waiting to connect a flight. In the case of President Mahama, he is also a president, so there are security and diplomatic arrangements. Sometimes between the foul tarmac at the local holding area waiting for the connecting flight. Sometimes the embassy officials will make arrangements. So what will be a year there be a separate opinion before connecting to where you are going. It's now Mampini Mama option. Say the same extravagant rental of jets, $17,000 an hour. Not but I said there be it are not near the most comfortable option. But at least or how they blame there are adequate arrangements a bit media could do. Seeking vindication say for black and that wasteful expenditure in the time of nothing to apologize for. But some know France. That's all for non-military acne assess it. Angola, the court Tanzania, Wabama, Mama. If they determine, so the idea do know it is not to be made in terms of who say it's something that will be discussed openly and transparently to go through. But since here and there, Master no work as it was commentary. MP said they nobody owes him an apology for criticizing rental of jets. Jata jets. Aircraft. A functional. This would work with the person who could. It is not luxurious. He could have gone to rent similar aircraft and Mama. President Mahama does not believe so by a Mantania. Obi, which way? The no, I watch the car, and as I say, the mouse square, how much? However, such number would that may back me. Won't mission fear? Won't you be?
Yes.
Car, 400,000. Which means you have a school fees. Am I not entitled to visit?
But
if on that level, if on I come and now essentially everybody will so say, oh, what is your at the same time making sure say if you so wash your mouth. But the pocket may back not come and tell you. No, see your card into the patch of that is what the
into the answers I me tie the kind of the answer. Yeah, and it said yes, the president Dubai for right.
It's a new thing here was about the kind the began of Friday. Before I continue.
But hello, me about to minka. Hello. Ooh. Hello. God, I was here science with Frenny Bio. I think it's with the. He joined us all the way from Yokohama. And the historical antecedent and be upon some of the other specific questions no yen sakana for that break in Higher Sempa FM. Honorable Felix Kwaakye of MP for Abrasebu AD and Como. Join us with your thought on my so may hear some segment any day Abraham 48443 or message be a bit media will get him back now for it and so MIA and maybe we'll deal with some other issues atwa and also na fe ya hwese de nneam a few questions and ye be busa from kind as to say now honorable me pacho temenka say on the president time being of the day na move free Dubai.
But it's about 7 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely.
You get to
Dubai time would
it's actually 3 hours ahead of Ghana.
Absolutely. And I'm free Dubai by time being.
Later. Is it must have been a Monday in May? Then we could do Japan.
Yeah, Tuesday I'm a panel.
Yes,
sure.
Yes. Said the neighbor, and this is we are not free. Go to Dubai airport all those hours.
Oh no, that cannot be possible.
That is not how it is. But so what you accommodate India as a said menu to the back up and down here could be to free shop.
Oh, I mean to be fair, I put that what I said and it's our president for close to 22 hours. Absolutely.
That itself is not a problem.
Absolutely.
There may be it's not an issue for me.
Yes. And that's the point I
who have sought to create the impression that in itself is such a no, they were Sika. Me, I be here, and I the fatally. I'm pretty to person you didn't walk Boeing 747 yesterday. And you only had so even if you're modest, I never want to work from. If you have to rent an aircraft,
but you don't think, sir, for such maybe in the absence of the Falcon, the modest aircraft waiting time through transit cannot be put through Saniomano. Don't think there is a point in there.
No, it's an assessment of logistical needs for a year. So they determine the best course of action in mind the need to ensure. So this time it was determined. Young sick. When and that aircraft goes beyond just long haul and short haul. Definitely, it is more convenient, and it will be able to mean. As I said, one car, and to send a wow 2 car. It is before you take that decision, you must factor in all things. And I bet so crap. The one yes, so there's room for they are for 4 years. They are seeking to use this extravagance.
What
cannot hold.
Yeah. Today also was I kujeto about ne criticism planes are omanpenyi rente debt exorbitant, ostentatious. We could have that argument. To make comment about the state of the Falcon, that it was in pristine. The point was made, says engine back across and I went further to say, sir, in the past, then any conversation around should be had following the information we had about the state of be a scanty say no at the end state and said that need very good state we should have context within which I made that point I'm making here.
For two reasons. The first point is that after the entire conversation about the state of the Falcon. Indeed, the years Master Papa had not gone ahead to expose the we will never have known about the state of the Falcon. On the catch at that time. Subsequent reporter a year minor so that the aircraft was in good shape to fly 3 countries. American movie and I'm I can't tell a good air, but it was smooth like any others between I think February and May this year. So the evidence we have go flight. Indeed, the way our airport was, they will not allow the president to sit in it. If the president were even to rent an aircraft, the Air Force will
absolutely. Absolutely.
So requirements are stringent. It was when it went for service detected some faults. Our Moguso earlier. That's what my assessments. They will issue that report is otherwise into me yet na yenta for just to be followed in and we'll see the next steps we have.
Sir, yes. Acquiring a new presidential the table completely.
Oh, it can never be this conversation. We see the history of presidential.
Absolutely.
At 27 for 28, and I'm here trying to flying coffee now. So okay. 90s became a huge issue. Indeed, I think President Rollins at the time when he sat in the focus. I recall, say, even as recently as 20, it was still flying. Maximum when I was saying. So it can never be off the table, except that you consider all factors. That is not what the Akufo-Addo government did. Active approach. They chose extravagance. Indeed. So the pictures now at the bar are authentic. I want to. No, this is a bit too lavish. The cost is too much. That's for $400,000. And it will be so. It will have rented with you so. Now won't you job but fees now? Definitely criticize you.
But on what has happened almost 8 months in about the Falcon. The corrosion bene ade. Wouldn't comments made about the Falcon being in fit for purpose were not
time it was fit for purpose. Oh, the matter me President Mahama dying in the aircraft 3 times to 3 different countries. Otherwise, the Air Force will never permit the president to. But it doesn't mean that subsequently, if you detect, don't address it. In fact, we feel the but me assure that between the time I and it would have given you problems before.
Yes.
Battery, a battery, and after a time will come up because okay, the be here. Benefit analysis, I may talk for a into my mental way. But at the point where you needed it, it took you where you wanted. You have to consider your finances, the set of whether it is necessary. But the point is that there was a problem with the Falcon, and that he needed an alternative. Was over the top. That was the basis for the itself.
Very well.
It was not about whether the indeed, if we determine, say the aircraft, Ghanaians have the right to criticize you. But if there's a fault, you have to make alternative arrangements, either through commercial arrangement that is cost effective.
Very well. Until say you be repairs on the Falcon A2 Kwaya, especially say a long.
You will choose the means that is cost effective. Is within limiter and over the top. And the target is not a luxurious jet by any means. In terms of
but what would you call you over the top?
$17,000 an hour.
That
can go for
10,000.
It can take functional. It can take you there.
$10,000 per hour is expensive.
Cheaper than 17,000, is it not?
It is.
That meets the specification. You see, the key is functionality. A bit more work will be a work on us. And then there's the issue of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
So, the comfort in it, and this will take a minute to your destination and back.
From obviously never say or any to Yokohama.
There's a fence. A local arrangement, yeah.
We a local arrangement. Train, right?
Yes.
By train, okay. See, ma yenna sinti say obe free Singapore da ben.
Obe Singapore too.
Yes. Oh, okay. Okay.
Sunday, yeah.
Singapore.
Sorry, obe see.
Okay,
yes.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
No, to Singapore too, for the same day.
Now, meaning says, and I may admit say, or back to arrangement now or there.
Same or quite of us or quite now, the arrangement.
Obi, Hannah, who said, I said, Oman Penin can't.
He has sat as they have sat in economy class from. There was an instance near to France.
Yeah, but is becoming
you call France for inflation. If you KLM, sorry, Air France, I beg your pardon. Boarding gate, no, I'm not with you. Flight and that's our additional officials to accompany the president. First lady, but now I just two slots. Later. The point I'm making is that on no be comfort. Say or best say you. In fact, indeed, a jet. Say okay, jet never know Germany. That's okay. Look, Yanko, Momra, and Sasha.
About the president in your mouth, pale. Our interest as a country, because you something small.
I agree, but Obi, about the state of your country, a small sacrifice on your part as president, the right direction, given the state that your people are in. Obi Babemo ever appointed 123 ministers. Possible will get positions in government. Mama Jaketia. But also Mayor 60. He has done it. Pressure from NDC bigwigs who are. But he has resisted that so that he saved the public. A 336 political aid. The Rama could have argued, say NDC. They have high qualifications. Yes, you have 400 so that he has a far lower. President Akufo-Addo now or call UN General. In the next few days, you will compare it to the size of, and you will see that drastic cuts aimed at what they are saying. Some the other year on delivering the goods for the people. DSTV, such as satellite TV subscription. But I'm say it is just me, DSTV in my office because I have to monitor international news. That office subscription is cancelled. It may be also with the but it means Wabra Naswafu in our through a certain needs. Even travel, no crime, it is free travel. In fact, all that you 3 or 4. So 4. And no more call Japan. There have been times that the president can go with 10. He is deliberate about saving costs. Business class, yes.
Including the president?
It's class, but he will go for first class for everybody will understand it. But ministers
say ne traveling common people say one of the issues they had with was he sharing on Mampenyi travel itinerary. Is our president excited about that now?
Propaganda.
I didn't.
In this day and age, why would they? You can't echo. You want to say
a man for bit matraki.
All you need to would the tail number of the plane. A good search engine, I will tell you 2 points in this world a year to matter. In fact, he is on the radar of every country of which it's the fact that we know some Mampenyi has traveled in itself a security threat.
Okay.
It's the only by saying $17,000 jet. Now this is the time you met. endangered are clearly not telling the truth. There's Mahama, or a politician of several years. He understands he can't afford who not going to me any million. Amount of work and but it is true that he has gone to Japan. It is true that he has. There are at least 200 other passengers on board. Wow.
That's true.
It's a yes matter. To use the presidential jet. Or the fact you Jubilee among your parties for their pure other security officials. So they will know. In fact, it will have to be drawn. They have to be given the manifest. So they know. Unfortunately, NPP for the president's troubles, and now we see as a man. It's not true. It is not in consonance with modern thinking.
Honorable, Mayena say, Enti Nyaminka Oba, your best year in Comobio. Why?
Asafoa
Ofosu, Minister in charge of government communication. At least some confirmations for the story we put out. But the time the president left Ghana, time we drew Dubai, hours he waited in transit, and the fact now our train mu and or they call Yokohama there or the Amayen. The call said comfort honor say was so charter plane out new presidential jet or see a new some rent ye be show mine si kasem ansan ye disa and in this interview. Oman minim say oh bibi okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Na the spokesperson abekede
Adintia.
Hey. Na ade no munya
na sembe no
na what the catches NPP for na ne kasa. The challenges that we have. Yes, I complain. We have a situation that admitted even as of March. Now we share. And the other back. In crying more than the brief. Me panicho ono krano.
Or your manager.
Or your manager padie. And he keeps share. No. The principles that a problem no. Obeka system ministers. Actual appointment no. Your deputies or NPP. Dominic never say.
Doctor in charge. Much
no more. Your much. Appoint to be much. They have two deputies. We should be principled. We should be this conversation. And what's on tears will be see. To say how. Let's say that they say in an article. A short to me area. He will come and say fool and you'll be a fool gum. Or say on mining issue. But so see a young to fool.
Mine to fool.
First country. Because even with the narration that you have given, whereby I focus, I say, whereby I go from, I say, whereby you say, what do you mean by 10,000? Nipa ko suku e would yase. It will be $10,000 no. All from wrestling coins and you have Kenya. Even the almost as so much Kasama and then sector minister.
But the point is, now
come and say, Miss Oso. Yes, I'm sure. Obet must solve problems as Makwana. Monsieur Misuku, was school our brassy. Miss Lano. This is school in my head. We don't talk like that. Power is tricky. Power. These same personalities, you know, to now talk a different language. He kept on. Akufuado, that exorbitant, that luxurious. What is this? What is this? Is this what we? Me find them show. Mama, you saw you. And you fat. And John Mahama. Hold on.
Between criticism.
Please focus on I'm yes, I'm doing this.
Anything. I'm
I don't know. What do you mean? Are we craving that John Dramani Mama His Excellency? Yes. There's a challenge with her. And they do something we expect our experts nationalistic. Let's be more Ghanaian. Let's be more patriotic. Or maybe any who bet my one who bring da. What my Ghana Quenina? Can you do trees? What my sovereign? Nany technology for Kwane Kosugo streams. Why we have to be principled. You are here today cause us as a country to this point. Come on, pay Bombasima and then the other catches a service. A transitor and then I can't say NPP for Nekasa. We are worried. If you want to give us that don't want to care, but the TNA no is a name ho. Zani pano kwan bi so ba ni nyina mkwa no you have more questions because and so see pampan here minimize wo am obi anka no ne ho so mo dwene ye ho ukom krom they are enormous challenges.
Sure.
Why he knows that propaganda no? Assembly say ko hide me no. Ye nyina na omo ko back da anomu nyina ko UN General Assembly.
O sisi a do ko UN General Assembly nipa odi omo ko no dey akon to ya Ghana fo nyina hu say Mahama dey opeso
same administration. Your ministers omo ko Land Cruiser
NDC for what?
No, say problem void of partisanship. Or many baby them kasani amanyo sema eni mfaswa. And no ojina so ka say sa bri we Akufo be your papa ko bi ko tell because to touch you. So what? Who said? Of course. So you need to apologize. Stand on that. Saying that he's defending that statement. Now that he can bro for the kuti actually. Man paying him our bread. And then man paying na. So you compare. It's a bra. Yeah, who's wa bra now? Sometimes. No. One ye.
Yes.
Why are our politicians doing this to us? No, you bet too phone, you bet car phone, you bet so why? Why? So my cover to say on one of the bad social media so be the issue. Say dear, I'm going to come on, move.
Oh my God, police for the never so trouble. 94.7 FM. Police for so prayer. And also simulation on way and make times. Samun TB Asia. How are you? Terminal. And yet, I mean, you cannot read a simulation or more. Simulation because a big assignment domain. This one attempt to go under the post and
amazed that simulation when you know a commander of an intimate. And if you see I got to ask questions.
Simulations, I say you be a ballot box.
Police
actually ballot box.
Hey, what do you want? What's the EC? What for EC?
Well, how was the simulation?
Are you saying that the police did you have ballot box misbehavior and all those your body? I'm saying that we should not ridicule go through all this. Not 19 acquire ninja an American movie. We will laugh at what you are doing.
Into more man, the whole video on this one. Do the police for a prepare solid. Preparation is solid. How am I the car? Yes, simulation, Charlie. I'm hoping, sir, we know will reflect on the ground. So this is really solid. I mean, okay, park no more simulation. Bar. Oh no, but man, this is positive.
Mamo suffer the number. Okay, and I'll call Nafti Kakana. Camera angles. No,
but you cannot help. Relation. It be boom.
Paul, this will be
no, but this is good.
Oh, Paul, this. GJ paying for our press center.
Oh, that's the inspector.
I'm sure even by now they are still there.
That's
a proper relationship built. The police rather and the media.
Yeah.
And I think that John president.
No, I think he's done.
And then for your Honun to Kaya saying Mumpodia, John for more
attack on journalists.
And so I'm say let's build the bridges and then make sure say your Honu only team and afi GG the debia da can say the be free way more back say yeah kwa yanim no approach for say omo tia say ejuma baako ye nyina no hand in hand and for no ye mpa enam ne kwa so your best pull us to you and just give us certain insight obi asum uti obi ayase and all those things. San komodia akoso a na se gusu a ekoso en na situation president Jomfo ana IG nti ye besere se ye be pie be free mu beba no ye akoma atoyem ne ayo the media and the police relationship no to the next.
Say Oshia political parties no there will be 5,000 police officers.
We are not impressed about numbers. There much as whatever police officers were there. So what was
almost a way, every entry point into
Minia. You are part of the
searching for
the reasons why we don't get solutions to our problems.
Necessary. Dabi almost buy
Obi Commission wrote that Aka 3 a year polling centers. The police could not even provide security. Please, then your problem. Your problem. Baby, do you go the Electoral Commission called for assistance from the police. You're not thinking what happened?
Almost in Sembi were called to.
Okay, so a year. I'm not going to be asked about 19. You're 19. What did
very Amasamanton Sawimka Wafason.
The year canano and the reporter and says so.
Yeah,
I'm sure that
and they $77 million be the amount. Ejuma so nti e bomb pie say but say na yese kaswa nso to winiba no poto ibi nko na bi aba o kaswa to winiba de.
That is why I make us a NPP blame game. Because we are not in government has been their response. Getting illegal mining, in signing the bill into law.
Yeah.
Government. Why do we keep hearing they were no money?
You inherit asset and liabilities.
We should all be prepared to stop us from critiquing.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Amasama quickly what is if I catch this what him? Minister no responsibility.
Yeah.
We have to thank you. Residents here apply road no what is sufrenia ayoyo awudi djuma sonko sa pepepe yenuanu mo ka free kaso akwan so no sa na enim se kwan bi ahohia ba kwan bi hohia at this point eti miewoni na keka wonsase na as simple as that obi oman no any kasa eye nkranhye yes
na haka say obo greater
ehwehwe from we dey imagine me say that yeah so to me draw
Entiabusanfo mame ma wakwa na memfa mbra yem platform we eso ensem no na Felix Ofosu Kwaakye, government spokesperson, in fact government communications minister odi abab abonten no na abusanfo meso say edru baabi no na am say ahoma no me ye sure say we internal issues are free studios of Asempa on say na edru baabi na ase emu ye twitwi on sa line no yes inti mumfa enye de encheme. And you see MPP for propaganda we enye de enjina, and you can attest to the fact here and someone MPP for eka na president no wako charter flight wako charter flight no you see any a whole lot of stories a whole lot of stories and a babon thing. And then me no mienu ina no yatene wo yason yahudi yakwakosie. It tells you something. It can be edited. In fact, it can bigger picture be edited. It can be for more customer. I will say if you muji said your mobile ya mobile squander nema or mobile say nneɛma ma Ghana ɛyɛ bisi basa no the same way ɛna ɔmo dwen sese bi NDC for ɔmo aba yi so no ɔmo ba na ɛyɛ ɔmo abɛsɛsɛ nneɛma ɔmo ba na ɔmo abɛsɛ nneɛma and it is sad, it is really sad say ne NPP for nankasa ɔmo atena se ehu se debi deɛ ɔmo yɛɛ no ɛnyɛ but as to so ɔmo di ɔmo ano bɛka as to so ɔmo bɛba abɔnten abɛpam aka no ɛno nso adan boakye bidin watch I say ɛno nso ayɛ boakye bidin ɛno nso ayɛ boakye bidin anything to cut to cut short story long no to cut long story short no we na mate de ekosi ye shame on NPP for shame on Vincent Asafoa any omo na omo ye propaganda na president na yi say na president na yi say na president na yi say no he is not reckless like Yura Akufo-Addo. He is not what reckless like him. Etienne we na mahu smoothness level. And we na mahu smoothness level. And we na mahu dia yeden akwakusie. Ejabusanfo meso so be kire wadwen e comment section ni na do comment atom na wa like dwumadi na wa share na foforo. Enye bi ahwe. Sanse hanom ena ye yua number 1 authentic platform negative. Nyankopon kosoa e hira onko bibia eho. We ye nsem a me de besom wo yemfa credit emma Asempa FM ekosi sen dwumadi so omo no moboa ya enya sanse nwebe e de besom wo me din eye mega macro bibia bye bye.